As you already know, Easter is going to be celebrated differently this year. While the celebrations have changed, the truth of the story hasn't. This coming Friday, we'll be remembering a king who died for us, and on Sunday, we'll be celebrating an empty tomb. This week, leading up to Easter, we're putting together a short devotional every day to keep the significance of Jesus' last week on our minds. And hopefully, it will lead us to worship our amazing Savior. Yesterday, we remembered the triumphal entry, or Palm Sunday. Today, Monday, Jesus again enters Jerusalem in the morning, but this time he is walking. There's no ceremony, no joyful cheers, just a fig tree that will serve as a living parable. It is early in the morning and Jesus is hungry. Jesus sees a fig tree in the distance and draws closer to it in order to eat the figs. Upon investigating the tree, Jesus sees that the tree has not produced figs, and he curses it. Why? I always thought this was a strange thing to do. Since it was common knowledge to those around Jesus that figs would not produce edible figs for about 6 more weeks, this action of Jesus seems bizarre. The edible figs would not ripen until late in May. These figs were called early figs and were known to precede the main crop of late figs that would grow in mid-August and into October. So why is Jesus cursing the fig tree for not producing an early crop? And how does it relate to the final Passion Week of Jesus? The key is found in a closer inspection of the fig tree. If only leaves produced on the tree and no early figs, then the tree would not produce any figs that year, early or late. On the heels of Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, in the uproar of what might seem to be the excitement of welcoming King Jesus, the fig tree represents the people, and that from a distance seem to embrace Jesus as Messiah. Jesus' point is that people are like the tree that seem from a distance to have good fruit, but upon closer inspection show no signs of producing fruit at all. Jerusalem was a type of fig tree. From a distance, it seemed like the people were moving towards bearing ripe fruit, but upon further investigation, they only had leaves of religiosity. They were people who had no intention of bowing to Jesus as their Lord and Savior. They show no signs of regenerative change at all. It is the fig trees that seem from a distance to be legitimate and genuine, but upon closer inspection are disappointing and worthless. The same is true for the people in Jerusalem. They seem to embrace Jesus, but are fruitless and are headed towards the judgment of God. This is precisely the picture Jesus is painting by cursing the tree. The people of Jerusalem are rich with religious activity in preparation for the upcoming Passover meal, but bankrupt of true spiritual devotion to Jesus, now standing among them. This leads up to Easter. As we follow Jesus' final week, we should all take some time to not only reflect on the cross, but also reflect on our own hearts. We are giving signs of spiritual life, but are we spiritually empty? Or have we really been transformed by the gospel and producing true fruit of Christianity?